Welcome to episode 2 of the Bloodline Olympics. Now, if you haven't watched the first episode yet, why haven't you? But here are the rules. An appearance on Raw will get you 1 point. A win on Raw will get you 1 point. So you could end up with 2 points on that show. If you get a PLE appearance, that's 2 points. If you win on the PLE, you get 2 points. So you could end up with 4 points on the PLE. Unless you're in the main event of the PLE, which I don't think anyone that's part of the Bloodline has done that yet, then you get 2 points. But if you win a title match, you get 3 points, which that is for sure something that no one has done yet. Since King and Queen of the Ring and Money in the Bank have been passed, and none of the Bloodline members even competed in either of those don't count anymore. But the Royal Rumble will get you 5 points. But winning in the main event of... just being in the main event of WrestleMania, either Night 1 or Night 2, will get you 10 points. So there's a good amount of ways to get points. I will have all of that listed in the description of that episode, this episode, and the next episode. And here are the teams again. OG Bloodline is Roman, Sami, Jimmy, and Jay. Banzai Bloodline is Yokozuna, Nia Jax, Fatu, and Samu. The Wild Bloodline is Umaga, Rikishi, Alpha, and Sikoa. The Island Bloodline is High Chief Peter Maivia, Tamina, Tama, and Haku. The Bloodline being Solo, Jacob, Tamatonga, and Tonga Loa. And then Hollywood Bloodline, which, as of filming, I believe haven't appeared yet. But that's The Rock, Naomi, Rosie, and Jamal. Now, I'm going to try to watch several matches this episode, since I either forgot to watch matches out of PLE, or no member of the Bloodline has appeared on a PLE. But anyway, so far, no Bloodline. Yeah, no Bloodline. Rusev defeats Kerry and Cross. Liv Morgan and Lash Legend defeat Fatal Influence. The LWO defeats the new World Tag Team Champions to Judgment Day. Brooks Jensen defeats Chad Gable. Asuka defeats Alexa Bliss. Mr. Iguana defeats Joe Coffey. Eric Rowan defeats Carlito. Raquel Rodriguez defeats Lyra Valkyria. And Uncle Howdy defeats Damian Priest. But like I mentioned in the previous episode, I'll have the scoreboard down at the bottom of the screen to hopefully have a more accurate count. Alright, up next. Well, in this episode we're going to go all the way up through Survivor Series, which I believe I have that set up as a 2-night thing. Yes. You know what? Calling an audible, we're going to go up through Saturday night's main event. Then we'll end it with the Royal Rumble, which I made 2 nights, Elimination Chamber, and then the 2-night WrestleMania. Alright. So Dirty Dom, Kurt Angle, and Seth freaking Rollins. Nia Jax is on the show. And I'm not going to count managers since I didn't count that in the previous episode. So since Nia Jax is on the show, she will have the point. Mr. Iguana versus Ilya Dragunov, Carlito versus Brooks Jensen, Joe Hendry versus Karrion Kross, Noam Dar versus Sheamus, Chelsea and Piper versus the Kabuki Warriors, LA Knight versus Jaron Walker, and then Shinsuke Nakamura, who is still WWE Champion, I think? Yeah. He will be taking on Aleister Black in a non-title match. Seth Rollins wins the opener. Nia Jax gets another point for her team. Ilya Dragunov defeats Mr. Iguana, who is the Intercontinental Champion. Carlito defeats Brooks Jensen. Karrion Kross defeats Joe Hendry. Sheamus defeats Noam Dar. The Kabuki Warriors defeat Chelsea and Piper. Jaron Walker defeats LA Knight. And Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Aleister Black. And we are on the go-home show to Bash in Berlin. Damian Priest versus Joe Hendry. Kurt Angle versus Uncle Howdy. Io Sky versus Alexa Bliss. Raquel Rodriguez versus Kaden Carter. The Rock has finally decided to show up to work. So that will give them 1 point. So far. Nia Jax making another appearance. I think she has shown up the most. I could be wrong about that. Dakota Kai, Liv Morgan, and Julia. Dirty Dom versus Gunther. And then the Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca and Jade. Joe Hendry defeats Damian Priest. Kurt Angle defeats Uncle Howdy. Alexa Bliss defeats Io Sky. Raquel Rodriguez defeats Kaden Carter. And The Rock wins the match, which is going to anger every single Karrion Kross fan. B-Fab defeats Nia Jax. In fact, B-Fab was on a tear last episode. Like seriously, if you haven't watched that yet, go watch the previous episode, then come back to this one. And we are going to Bash in Berlin. But yeah, B-Fab, Women's World Champion, takes on Bianca Belair. War Raiders get a rematch against the Judgment Day. Ooh. So, this right here is, well, a banger of a match. But this is what I mean by tag teams count as like each individual person in the match. Since this is a 6-man match, there's 2 points for The Rock for appearing, 2 points for Rosie, and 2 points for Jamal. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points for the Hollywood Bloodline. Dirty Dom versus Uncle Howdy. Sheamus versus Mr. Iguana. Kurt Angle versus Wade Barrett, Rusev versus Karrion Kross, Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria, and Drew McIntyre versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now let's see if the Hollywood Bloodline can get 6 more points for winning. Okay, Judgment Day retains, and they do get 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They went from being in dead last with no points to currently being second place. You see, that's the unpredictability of doing this in universe mode. Oh, Sheamus is the new Intercontinental Champion. Shinsuke Nakamura has not lost the title since beating Gunther for the title, I believe. Right? Yeah, because Gunther started out as the undisputed champion. Alright, Rikishi and Umaga. You guys are in the same bloodline, right? Yes. So that's 2 points right there. But taking on Wade Barrett and Joe Hendry. JC Jean versus Raquel Rodriguez. Kalani Jordan versus Thea Hale. Penta versus Kurt Angle. Giovanni Vinci versus Eddie Thorpe versus Braun Strowman. Judgment Day versus The Family. Nia Jax will get another point for appearing. And then Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Cena. I just realized I didn't watch a match at Bash in Berlin. Crap. But then again, there was only one match I would have been able to watch. But Umaga and Rikishi don't get an extra point per person. But Nia Jax does. God, I gotta get better at watching matches in this. My mom sent me a picture. Like, excuse me. Like, WWE Shop messed up. They're selling an El Grande Americano mask, but they labeled it as Chad Gable. Like, we all know it's not Chad Gable under the mask. It is clearly Chavo Guerrero. That is what the CG stands for on the boots from that one episode. That was, like, last week's Raw. But anyway, Peter Maivia versus Damian Priest. I know there's a better way I could have done the point system. Instead of, like, having 6 different, like, small sheets of paper. The Rock is here to take on Dirty Dom. Umaga now, if the Bloodline has one more match tonight, it breaks the record of having 3 matches on a show. Kalani Jordan versus Lyra Valkyria, Joe Hendry versus Aaron Matthews. Now, this is a rivalry I can get behind. Rosie and Jamal are on the show. So, it's official, the Bloodline record for matches in one night is 4. So far. Karrion Kross versus Kurt Angle, Yokozuna versus Rusev, making it 5 matches. Nope, make that 6 with Nia Jax. I don't think we're going to get better than that. And if you missed out on it, there's 200 people on this roster. So, it should be difficult to get points. Even though I have quite a few ways to get points on here. I don't know, I don't want to see Wolfgang. Alright. So Damian Priest gets the win. The Rock gets the win, giving them another point. Umaga will get a point. Rosie and Jamal get 2 points since, like I said, counts for each individual person in the tag team. Okay, and Yokozuna got the win here. And Nia Jax did not get the win. So, now you can see how things can absolutely turn around. Now, I'm not sure if the scoreboard will be any different at the bottom. But it's 21 points for the Banzai Bloodline, 2 for the OG Bloodline, 20 for, 20, like 2-0, for the Hollywood Bloodline, 2 for the Bloodline, 7 for the Island Bloodline, and 12 for the Wild Bloodline. Oh, Rock versus Umaga, giving them each 1 point. In fact, this is our first Bloodline versus Bloodline match, so I have to watch it. Okay, Yokozuna gets a point. Yeah, okay. No other bloodlines are... Okay, well... Yeah, let's watch this. Oh yeah, The Rock doesn't have his title in this universe mode. And even if he did, it wouldn't have counted for, like, any titles.
And now, here's the final boss of WWE. The Rock sits on top of the mountain here in WWE for almost 3 decades. The Rock has been dominant.
Yeah, honestly, this entrance isn't as cool without the title. And then we got Umaga, who we've seen his entrance in the previous episode.
Umaga ready to pave yet another brutal path to destruction here tonight.
People need to stop messaging me right now.
You're not the only one, Byron, but as we'll surely see here, Umaga does not discriminate when it comes to dismantling people. But to be in the ring with, looking to catch him off guard. Gets reversed. Is it enough? And there's the kick out. Looking for a speedy pinfall there. Set him up for the side Russian leg sweep. The Rock going for the cover.
1. Nope, just a count of 1.
Yeah, seem to be just testing the waters a bit there. DDT. And just in time, gets out of there.
You know, I do plan on having a bit more 2K content. Like, I took a break from making like 2K content for a while. Like, mainly because I wanted to focus on, like, Super Mario Mon, like, some other things on, like, Twitch and YouTube.
Transitions into a side headlock.
Like, I'll be honest, I haven't been making the Speed Sunday content for a while because, like, when it comes to Speed Sunday, those are really simple to do. So I bulk film those. So I haven't had to actually make an episode of that since, I would say, like, maybe the day after WrestleMania. And since it's getting to be pretty close to when I officially run out of episodes actually uploaded, I'll have to film some more. But Umaga's destroying The Rock. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm filming this on June 11th. So I have 3 more episodes of that are already completed. So eventually I'll have to film more, and I'll probably do like 9 episodes just to get me through August. But yeah, like I said, well, I didn't directly say it in an episode of Speed Sunday, because I just have the commentators do the commentating. Because it's a nice break for my voice, because I stream 2 times a week. I do a lot of talking when I babysit, like mainly to like talk to my niece, because she is 4 years old and she's really talkative, at least at some points. So she likes to kind of chat with me sometimes. Like, it's really cute when she, like, stands on, like, one of her seats for the table. Like, here, let me kind of draw, like, a diagram of how our table kind of sits. So
looks like he's got something in mind for ringside here. Pulls their opponent in, belly to belly. The damage is really piling up now. Taking on
okay, so
offense. You gotta worry about the lingering effects.
This is how our table is. Like, this rectangle right here, that's the table. Then we have like an L-shaped bench where she can just kind of like stand on here. And don't worry, there's like a back to the bench that's right up against this wall. And like, here's where the kitchen begins. Here's the little entryway for the house. So she'll just stand like right up here and point at the Pokemon poster that's right up there. And she'll ask, like, who certain Pokemon are. But she definitely knows Eevee, which is her favorite. She knows Pikachu, I'm trying to get her to know more about Charmander, since Charmander's my favorite. And sometimes she'll even ask, like, which Pokemon are friends on the poster. Which is really adorable. And if I am watching, like, a wrestling show when I'm babysitting her, she'll sit with me and she'll ask, "Are you watch wrestle?" And it's just cute. Then I just say, "Yes, I'm watching wrestling." Man, Umaga was dominating the match for a while, and then The Rock said that doesn't work for me, brother. Oh, what you gonna do when the final boss runs wild on you?
Here is your winner.
Okay. So then we have this match. I'm going to hit square to randomize it. Kurt Angle wins. On here, I'm just gonna fast forward. Okay, yeah. No one else has a match on the show, like for the Bloodline. Right? Yeah, it was just the two. Alright. You know, I'll probably just watch some more of these episodes of Raw. Like, just in case. Okay, there's 3-minute warning, so Rosie and Jamal will each get a point for their respective bloodline. Bianca beats Alexa Bliss. Jade Cargill defeats Piper Niven. Wade Barrett just had a self-promo. The OC defeats Gallus. Kurt Angle defeats The Miz. Kalani Jordan defeats Maxine Dupree. Wesley defeats Carlito. The Judgment Day defeats 3-minute warning. And Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Edge. Alright. Joe Hendry versus Wade Barrett. Wait, hold on. I haven't been checking the news. Yeah, nothing involving the Bloodline. Bobby Lashley versus Gunther would have been a banger if it actually happened. You know what? They could have made this match happen. Like, Gunther was on SmackDown at the same time as Bobby Lashley. Well, at least I think. Yeah, because... Wait, hold on. You know, I get my wrestling timelines mixed up sometimes. Let's see, No, Bobby Lashley versus Gunther. Who the heck is Gumtree? Ooh. Yeah, they've never had a match. Oh! Apparently, Bobby Lashley had Yeah, apparently Bobby Lashley had an idea for a match. Like, where it would be him as an African American versus Gunther being a World War II German. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that didn't get the green light. Okay, but anyway, Big Eve, Brandon Collins, Uncle Howdy, and Randy Orton, Bianca, Stephanie, and Tegan, Aaron and Kurt, LA Knight and Karrion, The Miz versus The Rock. I believe this is Brent Oakley's first appearance versus Bray Wyatt, and then Shinsuke versus Drew. Alright, Joe Hendry defeats Wade Barrett, Gunther defeats Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton wins the Fatal 4-Way, Bianca wins the Triple Threat, Aaron Matthews defeats Kurt Angle, LA Knight defeats Karrion Kross, The Rock gets another point since he won against The Miz, Brent Oakley defeats Bray Wyatt, and Shinsuke defeats Drew McIntyre. Alright. Roxanne Perez versus Bianca Belair for the Women's World title. Charlie Dempsey versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. Ooh, Randy Orton versus Umaga. I'll have to watch that one. Wyatt 6 versus Andrade and the Street Profits. Raquel Rodriguez versus Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Kalani Jordan versus Valhalla. Damian Priest versus Aaron Matthews. Joe Hendry versus Wade Barrett. The Rock gets a WWE title shot against Shinsuke Nakamura. Wait, hold on. I only marked one for Umaga. So yeah, now that should be good. And then 2 for The Rock. Wait, no, he's also in the main event. So that's 2 more. Now The Rock has to win the WWE title. Wait, hold on. Do we watch Umaga versus Randy or The Rock versus Shinsuke? You know what? Alright. So we're gonna go heads for the Umaga match or tails for the Rock match. There we go. Alright, we're watching The Rock. So we're gonna go through all this, then go back to see... Okay, Umaga lost. Now, The Rock has an opportunity to get 3 more points. He already got... Wait, no, he has a chance to get 5 more points. Because he got 2 for the PLE appearance and 2 for being in the main event. So that's 4 points right there. He needs to win on the PLE and win the title, which is the same match. If he wins, he gets 5 more points. Since it's 3 for a title win and 2 for a PLE win.
His unprecedented dominance in the ring remains.
And here, I was not expecting Shinsuke Nakamura to even win the WWE title. let alone hold it for this long. He won the title at Backlash against Gunther.
His renowned striking ability, his MMA background.
And for those of you who went to watch anything involving Wrestle War, you would know, not Wrestle War, Tuesday Night Thunder. That WWE Championship should look familiar to you. Wrestle War was a completely different thing. That only had one episode, while there were 7 episodes of Tuesday Night Thunder, which honestly, I have a video from a while ago explaining why I couldn't do Tuesday Night Thunder anymore.
Kick right to the back of the leg. Lighten up the chest and now.
But if I'm going to do something like that, I'm going to kind of do it more toned down.
Now heading outside. What's he open to find down there? I have no clue how much long work needs to be done in this one.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot this was no holds barred. Oh, the Rockstar versus The Rock. And why does it look like it's about to storm? I mean, I know that there's about a 50% chance to rain. And my phone cannot convince me that it is sunny outside. Oh. Well, I guess the 50% chance is gone, and it's just really cloudy.
You can see the frustration starting to build. Could be in search of a second win now. Look at that insult to injury with that.
I'm going to get a picture of the sky and show you without doxing where I live. Okay. There. You can kind of see how it's just cloudy out. Oh, Shinsuke almost won there. Man, imagine if Shinsuke Nakamura is the one to defeat The Rock. But yeah, currently, the Hollywood Bloodline has 30 points, which is now the leading score. Shinsuke just needs to worry about getting his signature before he gets hit with the rock bottom. Okay, never mind. Rock bottom. 1, 2, 3. The Rock. Oh. Yeah, The Rock gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for winning the WWE title on the PLE. Putting him at, putting the Hollywood Bloodline at 35 points. And if The Rock keeps successfully defending the title, then he will just keep getting 5 points for winning at PLEs. You know, we haven't seen a cash-in yet. Oh, and we have the Island Bloodline here, giving them 2 points for each member that shows up. No other members. But Aaron Matthews defeats Dominic Mysterio. The Miz defeats Wade Barrett. Isla Dawn defeats Kalani Jordan. Damian Priest had a self-promo. Brent Oakley defeats Joe Hendry. Apollo Crews defeats Cole Quinn. Carmella defeats Shotzi. And that's 2 more points for winning for the Island Bloodline. And then the Kabuki Warriors win their match. Alrighty. Yokozuna gets a point for showing up. Look, we're gonna need some more Bloodline and OG Bloodline appearances. Cody defeats Kevin. Jay and Bianca defeat the Unholy Union. Miz defeats Gunther. Dirty Dom just promotes himself. Randy Orton defeats LA Knight. Kalani Jordan defeats Carmella. Joe Hendry defeats Brent Oakley. Eddie Guerrero defeats Yokozuna. And Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Damian Priest. Alright. Hey, Naomi is here. Part of the Hollywood Bloodline. So that gives them another point. Ooh, Fatu and Samu. That gives the Banzai Bloodline 2 more points. Ooh, and a tag title match. Okay, Aaron Matthews defeats Dominic Mysterio. Bianca Belair defeats Piper Niven and Alexa Bliss. Jade Cargill defeats Naomi. Kalani Jordan defeats Carmella. Randy Orton defeats Joe Hendry. The OC defeats Berto and Angel. Samu and Fatu get 2 more points for winning their match. Eddie Guerrero defeats The Miz. And then the Judgment Day retain. And we are in November. Survivor Series is at the end of the month, but like I mentioned, we will be ending it with Saturday night's main event. So then, for the final episode, we can just focus on the road to WrestleMania. Man, no members of the Bloodline. Alright, there's a draw between Dirty Dom and Aaron Matthews. Jay and Bianca defeat the Unholy Union. Draw between Carmella and Kalani Jordan. Santos Escobar defeats Carlito, Oro Mensa, and Ashanti the Adonis. LA Knight defeats Randy Orton. Judgment Day defeats VOC. Bayley defeats Candice LeRae. Rhea Ripley defeats Tiffany Stratton. And Cody Rhodes defeats Eddie Guerrero. Next episode of Raw. Ooh, there's Rey Fenix. Let's go. Nikki Cross finally gets a match. Samu and Fatu get another tag match. And Naomi gets a singles match. Well, a triple threat match. But that still counts as a singles match. Ooh, LA Knight versus Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Oh, that felt good. Another draw between these two. Shawn Michaels defeats Rey Fenix. Nikki Cross beats Bianca Belair. Kalani Jordan defeats Valhalla. Gunther defeats Seth freaking Rollins. New Catch Republic defeat Alpha Academy. Judgment Day defeats Samu and Fatu. Bayley defeats Naomi and Jade Cargill. Then Cody Rhodes defeats LA Knight, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. Alright, Uncle Howdy versus Cody Rhodes. LA Knight versus Gunther. Judgment Day versus OC versus New Catch Republic. Carmella versus Kalani Jordan. Rhea Ripley versus Bayley. Nikki Cross versus Chyna. Fatal Influence versus Jade and Bianca. Aaron Matthews versus Dirty Dom. And Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton. Oh, excuse me. Another show with no bloodline. Cody defeats Uncle Howdy. LA Knight defeats Gunther. New Catch Republic wins. Kalani Jordan wins. Rhea Ripley wins. Chyna wins. Fatal Influence wins. Aaron Matthews wins. And Shawn Michaels wins. Alright, the 2-night Survivor Series is coming up. Chyna versus Rhea Ripley is a dream match. Roman Reigns finally shows up to work. And it's to take on Kurt Angle and Obafemi. Yeah, he's the only Bloodline representative. Rhea defeats Chyna. Roman Reigns gets a win. Jade and Bianca win. Alba Fire wins. Aaron Matthews wins. Jada Parker wins. Carmella wins. LA Knight wins. And Cody Rhodes wins. And we're on to Survivor Series. Rhea versus Bianca for the title. When did she win the title? Okay, well, hold on. Man, I don't remember when Bianca won the title. Hold on. Superstars. Yeah. Okay, well, that does not help. I forgot that they count the Women's World title as the SmackDown Women's title. Alright, but anyway. Alright, hold on. Yeah, so Solo Sikoa shows up. giving him 2 points for his team. Then Roman Reigns shows up, giving him 2 points for the team. Mr. Iguana finally getting his rematch. And then Nia Jax is the only one in the Bloodline that's in that match. So that's 2 for her. Okay, yeah, let's watch Solo and Cena. Now you may be wondering, why Solo and Cena over Roman and Karrion Kross? Well, right there. The last time is now. John Cena is the GOAT, so I have to watch one of his matches. At least in this. And it just so happens to be against a Bloodline member. Also, he's billed from Las Vegas, Nevada. He didn't even have a match at WrestleMania.
Solo Sikoa, a man who never walks alone. He's evolved from a street champion to an enforcer to a brutal leader. You're right, Cole. The scariest part about it.
And he is still a face in this universe. That's my WWE champion.
No one else gets a reaction from the crowd like John Cena. And his opponent from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, the greatest of all time.
Okay, so it's the 28th when Cena versus Punk is happening, right?
It only makes him stronger, better, and more determined.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know that there's a more determined superstar than John Cena.
So let me just kind of see when this episode is going up.
Should be no different.
Okay, 25th. Okay, so this episode is going up the Wednesday after. So there's like a 5% chance that what I said about John Cena being WWE Champion could be wrong. And I say 5% chance because there is no way CM Punk, of all people, is going to defeat John Cena in Saudi Arabia. So that 5% chance is just Seth Rollins cashing in and doing it successfully. It could be during the match where CM Punk gets pinned, or it could be after the match.
But none of his other pursuits have ever distracted John from the one place he calls home, the ring. Whenever he steps through those ropes, Cena looks like he never even took a day off. It just goes to show how much Cena truly loves competing for the WWE Universe. Crank in the head.
Okay. We're good. One of my cords, well, actually my power strip looked like it was about to become unplugged. So I just had to quickly plug that, like push it back into the wall completely. So we're good.
How do you get the better of a calculating opponent like watch Solo Sikoa, who always has a vicious plan in mind.
Come on, Cena.
Disrupting the plan.
I know this is your Super Cena kind of phase,
Mess with the pace of the match. Make Sikoa struggle to keep up with you.
where you take a lot of damage in the start of the match.
Double leg takedown, got the shoulders down. Wasting no time getting his shoulder up. Staying in this one.
Look, I know I should be at least cheering for the Bloodline at some points.
Continuing to attack the neck.
Just so...
Draped over the top rope.
Well, okay, so I'm cheering for all Bloodlines evenly.
Yes, press. Practically never-ending blows. Coming
So-
in full force here. Oh, stomping away. And
You
Sikoa
can't
gets
say that
the
I'm being biased, even though
direction there.
Sami Zayn, who is part of the OG Bloodline,
Carefully placed stomp to the arm.
is one of my favorites.
Realizes this is his opportunity. Taking aim.
Look, as long as, like,
Setting up for something here. Sit out. Power bomb. And Cena's finding the momentum.
I mean, like, if it's Bloodline versus Bloodline,
Disruptive offense.
then I have to be unbiased.
Plans were going to pieces. Take off.
And as much as I want,
Takes another trip to the skies.
well,
And it pays
like, a part of me,
once again.
being a John Cena fan, wants Cena to win this,
The ring all the way to the
but
floor.
also,
Absolutely no regard for your opponent's safety.
as
You toss them to
the
outside like
Bloodline Olympics host, I want Solo to win this, just so his Bloodline can get a chance.
Here we go. We've seen it once, we've seen it 1,000 times. It always works. Look out. Driven down. Going for the cover. Solo's shoulders are down. Stopping the
Oh yeah, and when it comes to the Rumble,
Not the time to wallow in disbelief. Pressure must be kept on.
like, every person in the Bloodline that
Oh, look at this. Neck lock into it.
is in each Rumble, they will get 2 points for just being in it.
From Cena. Face first.
Well, but then, again, if the Rumble's the main event, then it would have to be,
What is Cena doing on the top rope?
4 points.
Cena just brought down the hammer. Will he find a way to seal this one?
So that could be a crap ton of points for one team or all teams. Alright, John Cena wins.
Now let's get another look at some of the high points of that one.
That's why he's my GOAT.
Here is your winner, the Guerrillas.
And also, I'm filming this episode back to back with the first one. So, for any of the points I've mentioned that are, like, different from the ones on the scoreboard, I'm just letting you know that. But anyway, Roman Reigns gets 2 more points for winning. Oh yeah, hold on, I'm not going to be watching that. Sheamus defeats Mr. Iguana. Kalani Jordan defeats Carmella. Seth freaking Rollins defeats Joe Hendry. And then we're gonna simulate. And Nia Jax does not get any more points. And now we are moving on to Night 2, where The Rock who is not defending his title, I mean, if you don't defend your title, you don't get extra points. So, yeah, this one. So The Rock will get 2 points for appearing on the PLE. And no other members of the Bloodline are here. And he gets... Wait, hold on. Nia Jax was in the main event. So, I forgot to give her 2 points for that. It'll be correct on the scoreboard. It's just something that I forgot to mark. Okay, so now we're all caught up. Alright, so I believe we have... Yeah, we have 2 Raws and Saturday nights. A main event. Cody, Cena, and Kevin. Bianca and Roxanne. Rhea and Gigi. Uncle Howdy and Trick. Bray and LA. Dominic and Oba. Io and Jade. Peter Maivia and Gunther. So, that's another point for them. Okay, so that's why The Rock didn't defend on the PLE. In fact, hold on. When did the Money in the Bank... Yeah, hold on. When did Rusev cash in? I don't remember Rusev ever having a world title match. And I've been going from episode to episode. But yeah, I didn't even mark this one for The Rock yet. Alright, Cody wins. Bianca wins, Gigi wins, Uncle Howdy wins, Bray wins, Dominic wins, Io Sky wins, Gunther wins, and The Rock retains. So, that is 3 points for Hollywood Bloodline. Since he retained the title. And like I said, any title will get you those points. Hey, there's Tama and Tonga. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I forgot Roman. So, OG Bloodline gets 1 point there. 2 points for the Bloodline. Okay. John Cena defeats Uncle Howdy and Roman Reigns. And then 2 more points since they defeated AOP. And now we are on our final show of the episode. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. Damian Priest versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, I'll count Saturday night's main event as a PLE. Even though they don't count it as a PLE normally. Alright. So Roman got 2 points for appearing. Okay, and The Rock's defending again. Alright, Sheamus retained. Oh crap, I should have watched the match. But then again, we're already an hour into this episode. Bray Wyatt wins. Roman Reigns gets 2 more points. Yeah, so then Dirty Dominic Mysterio's the WWE Champion. So yeah, I forgot to mark 2 there. Well, actually 4 since he's in the main event. But he lost the title. So, yeah, I don't know if my scores are accurate on my sheets. But down at the bottom of the screen, the tally should be accurate. And then, when I film the next episode, I should have a very accurate tally. But thank you all so much for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Comment any other video ideas you had for the future. And I will catch you in the next one.